Okay, so Jund Treasures. I actually think this archetype has one of the most explosive starts you can have in the current standard format, which if you're not familiar, that start is Jaspera Sentinel into Magda the Brazen Outlaw here, which allows you to cast Goldspan Dragon or another 5-drop like Lolth on the third turn of the game. If Goldspan Dragon gets down, your treasure count then goes even higher as Goldspan Dragon starts making treasures, and it lets you kind of snowball out of control. The core of this deck is not only Goldspan at the top, but also Immersturm Predator in order to let us have a plethora of flying creatures at the top end of our curve. We've got Chariot as just another good card, as well as Valki, which is a threat we can ramp up into. And then the sideboard here you can see is just straight mono black for solving different problems. Duresses, check for traps, and go blanks for the spell-based combo decks. Power word kills and Ray of Enfeeblement for the creature decks, and then we're just trying to run down other mid-range decks. So this deck is a very clear plan of what it's looking to do. Let's jump on into some games and see if that game plan is good enough or if it's going to leave us feeling a little bit out in the cold. This deck knows what it wants to be doing. Let's see if it's good at it. I think we mulligan this. Valki's not really a great 2-drop. I think I want like a Sentinel, a Magda, or an Innkeeper in my 7, or we throw it back. Hey, thanks for the 2 years, Blad. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning. The seller accepted an offer on our house this morning. That's awesome. Speaking of houses, did people see Zillow got their just desserts? And they lost $500 million trying to buy up properties using an algorithm and then sell them for more than they bought them for? Really, you just love to see it. So, I don't think I want to jam into their open mana this turn, but turn 4 is a good turn to jam into their open mana because that's when they'll be memory deluging. So making your opponent choose between interacting with your spell or memory deluging is generally worthwhile. And then I think the way things have shaped up here, they still don't have Deluge up this turn. I'm going to go ahead and play Immersturm Predator as opposed to the Goldspan because I want to play around a second copy of Disruption here. Yeah, the kind of sad part of the Zillow story is, as is often the case in America, the giant company isn't really the one that's going to be punished. They laid off a bunch of their employees, and they'll just write off the loss as a loss on their taxes at the end of the year. So, yeah. So, Zillow, for people not familiar, is a website that people use to look up the pricing of houses. So they thought because they have all the information, they could use that to be more profitable in terms of buying things that were priced too low. Yeah, so they have an epiphany here. So when they attack with this Goldspan Dragon, I'm going to block with my Predator and then sack Innkeeper to the Predator. And then we'll just curl up in a little ball and cry when they Fading Hope us, and then take an extra turn. Oh, that just worked. I wasn't prepared for that to work, chat. We could still die here, right? They just have 3 more epiphanies and we die? Yes, that is a core tenet of capitalism. You privatize the profits and you socialize the losses. And like, these damn birds don't just kill us, chat, they also block, right? So like, I guess we attack, but... Ain't that the truth, Hoy? So, on paper, healthcare being tied to the employer looks like a loss for the employer, Win Magus, but in reality, healthcare being tied to your employment gives the employer an incredible amount of power over the employees, because if someone's in a shitty workplace environment, they're going to often be in a position where they have to choose going broke if they or a family member gets sick, or staying in that crappy environment. Yeah, they also just consider what they're paying for your healthcare part of your paycheck is also accurate. That's a big part of why there's so much pushback from lobbyists in terms of single payer / Medicare for all / any other implementation like that. Maybe I'm supposed to hold back one of these dragons. They have a deal 3 here? Why'd they block Goldspan and not Predator? Must have a deal 3, right? Yeah, like we've talked about that before. Like my wife and I, when my streaming started making, you know, full-time job money, we looked into whether or not we wanted her to keep her job, and we priced it out. It's about $30,000 a year for comparable. Wait, did they just concede? I'm so fucking confused. It's like 4 cards in hand and nothing? All right, sometimes lucky, chat. Listen, we take those. We take those. It must have just been 4 lands, right? Like I'm not sure that there's any other options there. What are we supposed to cut in this matchup? This is definitely the matchup where we're supposed to... It could have been a bunch of counterspells, too. They don't play that many counterspells, though, right? Like, a lot of their counterspells are bounce target thing. Sorry, what was it for healthcare? To get comparable healthcare to what my wife gets through her job, it would be a little over $30,000 per year, or about $2,500 per month, if I were to pay for it out of pocket. And for people who live in countries that have reasonable healthcare, that $30,000, by the way, per year wouldn't even cover using the medical expenses. That would be for a plan that has a $5,000 per person deductible with a $15,000 family limit. So you pay $30,000 per year to just ensure that in the event you had a hospital bill that was 6 figures, you didn't have to file for bankruptcy. Yeah, this is, I don't want to go fully bankrupt should someone in my family have cancer or some type of big medical emergency type thing. All right, what are we cutting here? think Tibalt's not good enough. It's a little bit on the expensive side. But trim these Innkeepers, just up our average card quality here a little bit. Maybe trim. I'm just gonna cut a couple of things here. We're getting down to the wire. If my wife ever lost her job with her Fortune 50 company that we get the good insurance through, my wife and I would likely leave the United States. Assuming I still had my job on Twitch, it's relatively easy to immigrate to another country if you like fill out the paperwork and say you're bringing a 6-figure salary with you because you work remote. It's never strictly easy, but it's easier if you're bringing money with. Other countries are more willing to take you in if you're bringing money to their economy. Well, our second Duress is going to chill for a little while. All right, well, that's a great pickup for us. So we can, like, Infernal Grasp this Hermit and then untap and play Stormseeker. Actually, do we take this hit so they can't just flash this back this turn? Yeah, I think we take the hit for 2, because if I kill it during combat, they can just, like, disturb it back. I don't want them to do that this turn. Dunker McGee, thanks for the 6 months in advance. I appreciate the support and vote of confidence. I plan to be here for at least another 6 months. Hopefully a lot longer than that. They just let this resolve because it's losing us 2 life. Makes a lot of sense. Alright, don't Jawari Disruption me. Nailed it. Long time listener, first time caller. Well, thanks for calling in. Welcome to the chat. Chance this misses. Oh, we got one. Look at that. All right, so just like race to a bomb diggity here, with the asterisk being that my opponent kind of has a ticking time bomb in their bin that's going to find them a bomb diggity. Fire up our creature lands here. Yeah, we don't have anything else to do, so might as well just start attacking. Thanks for the follow, Charlie. Chariot. You love to see it. Would I learn the primary language of country I tried to immigrate to? I would only immigrate to an an English-speaking country. Sorry, I apologize for saying American-speaking, but you know. Effing Americans, shit. America, do you? I don't even speak American here. Yeah, you're probably right. I deserve a timeout for that slip up. Also, like, you know, knock on wood, Sans going something going full crazy in the US. Like, my wife's worked for the company she's worked for almost a decade now. Hopefully her job's not going anywhere anytime soon. What a weird game. What do we consider full crazy? What's the Hulu original where they've got the women in the gowns and like people like that? That's what I mean when I say full crazy. I'm blanking on the name. Handmaid's Tale. Yeah, that's what I mean when I say full crazy. They did in fact just concede. Thanks for the follow, Mad Hawk. Good morning. So Man in the High Castle is fine. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that one. Man, this is the nut draw if we rip a red source. It just doesn't do anything if we don't. Alright, chat, do you believe? I need to find out if chat believes. Alright, chat, quickly, you have 60 seconds. 60 seconds, chat. I need to know if you believe. If you believe, we'll keep the hand. Because if chat doesn't believe, we won't hit. Man, just look at no fear. Just actual no fear. 85% yes. There, chat knows what it wants. No fear in the dojo. All right. I think that's good enough. I believe in us, chat. You believe in us, I believe in us, let's do it. I like to dedicate this land to chat. This is like a pretty peak chat land, by the way. Because it's like the red source to play Magic, but it's tapped this turn. This is like the lands you get for trusting Twitch chat. They give you what you want, but it isn't really what you wanted. We got what we asked for, but it wasn't what we wanted. Big actually energy here. Twitch chat is in fact the monkey's paw. I seem ungrateful. It's because I am, chat. It's because I am. Oh, we totally could have done both, right? This is free, technically. Good shout. That's fine. We'll do both of these this turn, right? Wait, no, is that not how magic works? No, I'm dumb, right? God, chat, I'm so dumb. That's fine. That's fine. We have this instead. I definitely could have done this last turn. Then we'd be in a better spot. That's fine. We're still in a pretty good spot here, chat. Hey, thanks for the over 2 years disposable here. They really do go burn out, don't they? They go all the way up when you have a big sub like that. Big sub. Hey, thanks for taking the time to drop that off, Dr. Boopster. I appreciate the quarter of ear. Welcome back. Alright, I flubbed my sequencing after hitting our land drop there a little bit, but everything still worked out pretty well. Ray of Enfeeblement sounds excellent here. Power Word Kill sounds excellent. Valki out. Lolth out. You miss lethal by sacking your board. This only gets a counter when it becomes tapped, not when you sacrifice Going Thorn. It just becomes tapped when it gets sacrificed. It's a very easy thing to miss. Because the activated trigger triggers the static text. It's definitely don't blame me for missing that. I think this is just tapped here. Skip on through. Stormseeker into Chariot is real strong. And this is free, right? As long as I'm willing to tap this. Yeah, normally Lumiarch on the play is pretty impossible, but they haven't had anything else with it, so we got a real shot here. My scheduled tweet just went live, and I forgot to make a command for it. If you're one of my players who likes MOBAs, games like League of Legends and Pokemon Unite, I'm gonna be doing a sponsored segment for a mobile MOBA called Arena of Valor tomorrow. And part of the promo that I will be doing for that is folks at home will get to play with me during the sponsored segment tomorrow afternoon. And the players that are playing with me will get to earn in-game prizes for the matches we play. If you're into that genre of game, be sure to check that out. Using the link there. Hashtag sponsored, all that jazz. It's actually a pretty reasonable game. I usually don't take sponsored segments for games that I don't like, but I played a bit of it off stream. And it'd been a while since I played like a traditional MOBA where like there's lanes with minions running at towers. Definitely a bit of a different feel than like Unite has, more similar to League. Yeah, it's more similar to League than Pokemon Unite is for sure. Alright, so, I mean, we could technically play this, right? Am I dead on the backswing if we do? I don't think so, right? And I can play this, and then we can attack and then play Magda out off the treasure that the dragon makes. Riot doesn't do sponsored streams for, like, any of their games. Which I guess makes a lot of sense when you're one of the biggest companies. You don't really need to do that, I suppose. Yeah, this link here, Beansy. So definitely about to gain 6 with Magda here. That only takes you to the Apple Store. Well, that's... Are you clicking it on your Android device? Yeah, they have DC comic book characters. I've been playing with the Joker a little bit. It's fun. Try and click it on your Android device, Beansy. I believe it's supposed to take you to the appropriate Play Store on Android. If it doesn't, let me know. I actually didn't test that, but I assume that's how these things usually work. It's on Android and iOS. It took you to the Play Store. Sweet, perfect. All right, so we have to play defense at this point because we're at 5, but we also kind of need to like be making our board bigger and applying a little bit of pressure. I think we're attacking with just Chariot this turn, question mark. Yeah, it definitely goes to the Apple Store on PC. They don't have a PC client, it's just mobile. What if I attack with both of these? So I'd make a cat, and then I have... Oh, I should have given this the extra attack if I was attacking with it. And then I have 3, 4, 5 blockers. And they have maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attackers. I think I need to leave Goldspan back. Well, I have Sentinels with reach. I think I'm supposed to leave the dragon back here still. We'll see. They could also have like a takedown here still. They've played 2 out as lands, but we could see another. So, Niavolo, this is going to sound like an actually, but the Twitch bounty board pays people to play certain games if you take the bounties posted on them, which is technically sponsored by Twitch and not Riot. Now, I don't know the back end if Riot pays Twitch to make that happen, but there is verbiage. No, you just buy the champions you want, Beansy. There's no loot boxes for that. There's actually specific verbiage in the bounty board that you have to be clear that Twitch is sponsoring you and not Riot Games. So I'm pretty sure that's Twitch. We're probably dead now. All right, let's take game 3 on the play, huh? The aggro mantra, game 3 on the play. Thanks for the sub, Turtle. Welcome back. I appreciate the over 2 years. Yeah, I'd assume that's the case, Silence, but I don't actually know how that works on the internal. It is a long time, unequivocally. Thanks for the 29 months. Welcome back. I think I want to get this with a treasure going this turn, as opposed to just grasping right away. Arena of Valor is a game I'm going to be doing a sponsored segment for at the end of tomorrow's stream. Is a MOBA on Android and iOS. Alright, so I can Goldspan into Infernal Grasp here. Seems like decent. Big dragon go smush. I guess with this sequencing, they can Calibra take down my Goldspan now. Probably should have just done this on my turn or in response to them making 2 tokens. Yeah. Yeah, my sequencing is bad here. If we lose this game, it's definitely my fault. The upside was we got to get a counter off of this, but losing our Goldspan isn't worth that minor upside. And now we've just flooded and died. So, a little bit unlucky with our lack of spells here, but also took a bad line, so we didn't maximize the spells that we had. Yeah, I think even with our poor draw, that game was winnable if I played around takedown appropriately. The extra pressure from the Goldspan would have gone a long way in conjunction with the Chariot. Yeah, good games you can do. Your build at green-white looks good. Takedown feels like a underutilized card. Very reasonable land split card. All right, chat. As we like to call it in the biz, we have the stone cold nuts. Yeah, there be turn 3 dragons. Not just turn 3 Goldspan, chat. Turn 3 Goldspan on the play. Put a stop on their end step so we can diddle Magda to make a treasure here. Oh my god, chat. Chat, it's not just turn 3 Goldspan. It's turn 3 Goldspan Chariot. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Mmm. Mmm. They didn't want to play Magic with me anymore, chat. No, opponent, stop! Come back. We weren't done playing Magic, opponent. Looks like a control deck. I'm gonna bring in Duress and go blank and click submit. Well, at least we don't have to worry about that game dragging on. Goldspan made sure of that. Is that the strongest turn 3 in standard? Yeah, I think it is. I think this like I mentioned during the deck tech, I think this deck has the most explosive starts in the format. These are a few of my favorite things. Hey, Daniel, thanks for the 2 years. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Enjoy your castle. It's a lot of duress, chat. Help, help, I'm under duress. Look at this dick punching contest, chat. Just like, nobody gets any toys. You get nothing. Good day, sir. That's my opinion on Mass Effect so far. As someone who really enjoys single-player, story-driven games, Mass Effect is everything that I like in a game, pretty much. And we're probably going to finish Mass Effect 1 today and then start the first little bit of Mass Effect 2. And everybody that's a fan of the series tells me that Mass Effect 2 is significantly better than 1, and I've really enjoyed 1, so. So excited to see the next one. So we'll be doing Mass Effect for 2 to 3 hours this afternoon, and then tomorrow will be the sponsored segment for Arena of Valor, and then we'll pick back up with Mass Effect in the afternoon next week. So, planning to just run through the entirety of Legendary Edition in the afternoons through the end of the year. Figure we'll probably finish all 3 by the end of December. Thanks for the 20 months, Coley. Welcome back. Are we getting roped? Maybe. Yeah, the dynamic of Duress, like, being consistently great against aggro in this format is strange. For sure. Must say I've been playing Magic for 2 decades. This is the first format that's ever been true. What role do I play in Valor? I've been playing ranged carries mostly, Beansy. It's been a while, chat.
Down here, salt is a way of life.
Obviously, the environment down here is all salt. The ceiling's salt, the floor is salt, the walls are salt, and to an extent, the air is salt. And you breathe that in, and you can constantly taste the salt.
It may have been a while for you, but it hasn't been a while for me. I don't know how it plays on BlueStacks, Beansy. I know for the sponsored stream I'm doing, they told us we had to stream from an actual mobile device. So I've got my Android phone connected to the computer to screen share from there. So I'll be playing on my OnePlus 8 tomorrow afternoon. All right, what was their face down card? It was a saw coming. God bless. Well, I'm not sure that I would call Arena of Valor a League killer because it's made by the same company that owns Riot. It's made by Tencent. So, like, the company that makes Arena of Valor doesn't want to kill League. Like, they own both of them effectively. Tencent has basically hedged its bets and has money in basically everything gaming. Like, you basically can't play a game without making Tencent money. Tencent even gets stuff from like Magic the Gathering, right? Like it's literally everything. Just like have money tied up in everything capitalism gaming related. All right. Yes, Tencent is a Chinese company. I am not a lawyer and I don't know international law, but my understanding is if you want to get your game released in China, a Chinese company has to have some kind of stake in it, is my understanding, and Tencent is the company that most use in the gaming space because they're well known and have a good reputation for that. That is my understanding. Oh, fuck! Damn it, chat. I'm gonna blame chat on that one. I did not mean to sacrifice that treasure. I meant to use my Sentinel. Well, shit. That's on me, chat. The 1 damage will matter. I can feel it. Here's hoping. Okay, so I'm going to attack with these two. We'll copy this. And then we'll Infernal Grasp this before blocks. I'm gonna profess to not know the ins and outs of Chinese companies inside of the gaming industry and all that stuff, Duck Doolittle. I'm going to assume creature removal is good here. Get these power word kills in my deck. And I think when we do this and we bring in more removal against Rex, actually Ray of Enfeeblement might be okay here too, right? I don't know how many white creatures they have exactly. Maybe Valki's the cut here. I don't know how aggressive they are. If they're aggressive, Valki and Lolth aren't very good. Let's try this for now. We didn't see a lot of their decks, so we might reassess sideboarding for game 3. Welcome back, McNux. I think I might have missed that one. If I didn't, welcome back again. Yeah, the average match, I've played probably about 40 matches, Beansy, and the average match is under 20 minutes. Some of them are even less than 10. But they are variable length, but it has mechanics that push the game to end faster. Wait, did they put us on the play? Our opponent put us on the play, chat. Pretty good. This card's very difficult to raise. This is indestructible, so blocking this turn is not profitable. The Predator Chariot interaction's kind of sweet too, because we can use the Chariot to crew the Predator to power it up without having to sacrifice anything. Yeah, so in fact here I'm gonna recrew again just so we can get a counter on this Chariot and exile their Angel Fire Ignition. Because every time this taps, it exiles something, gets a counter. Yeah, solid synergy between two individually good cards here, right? Predator is definitely a very strong card in this format. Yes, you can also tap Magda to get treasures with the crewing is excellent as well. So 22 months, Fat Butters. Welcome back. To the people discussing the finer details of Tencent in chat still, if you could take it to DM or the politics channel in the subs Discord, I'd appreciate you. Find to chat about in my spaces, but I want to not clutter chat while we're playing and it moved on. Expel. Rude. That is a clean answer. There aren't a ton of clean answers to Predator in this format, but Expel is a good one. My horde, chat! My horde's been vanquished! Man, we went from really far ahead to you know, just a little bit ahead very quickly here. Can I draw another dragon, please? Alright, that'll do, pig. Get to keep attacking here at least. Yeah, Magda's flavor text is working up here. She'll be able to go get us a Chariot or a Goldspan if she gets one more attack in. You've never seen Magda's flavor text get used? Well, that means you haven't watched the what's it called combo deck that we played, and it means you're missing out. Man, the top of their deck is some bangers here. Maskwood Nexus, yeah. The Maskwood Nexus deck is a treat. Corvald's not legal. That was an Eldraine card. There is a highlight on the daily deck digest of the Maskwood Nexus combo deck. 10 out of 10 worth a watch. Oh, I could block the other way. I forgot the Sentinel had reach. Good shout. That's on me. I forgot Sentinel had reach. No, usually I try and play one historic and one standard deck each day, Thomas. Wow, I actually can't save this because the Den of the Bugbear is exactly lethal, right? It's 8-11. Man, brutal, because this taps when you sack something. Removal spell, one-time dealer. Okay. We're not out of the woodwork yet. Like, I could block the Den there to deny them one extra 1/1, but this way they have to spend their mana if they want to keep attacking me, which I think has value. I guess this leaves me dead to a removal spell, my line here. Yeah, maybe it is better to trade with the Den there. But I'm not dead to removal. And holy fuck, they drew the removal spell. That's fine. We'd have been dead the next turn to the tokens anyways. We'd be at 1 and they'd have 2 attackers. That's fine. We'll get on this game on the play. Opponent had a really incredible comeback here, huh? After seeing more of their deck, Ray of Enfeeblement is excellent here. Definitely want that in. I'm going to trim this extra Innkeeper. Their deck's actually more mid-range than I was expecting, so I'm actually going to cut all these Innkeepers. I'm going to put these Valkis back in, question mark. I think a Valki and a Lolth. I mean, based on how good the top of their deck was, there's no way we're getting back in there. Hey, 6 feet apart. Thanks for the 31 months. Welcome back. I think this is a Tibalt. No blocks there is great for us. I almost didn't attack, but I felt like they weren't going to block me, so. You're ripping us apart, opponent! You're killing us! Yeah, so if I Magda crew the Chariot, I can then also Predator. And then I think we crew the Chariot again to exile the card from their graveyard. Untapped land lets us Tibalt. Well, I can Tibalt if I copy the treasure, right? Oh, I missed the sack to deny 5. You're right. Good shout. Yoink.
I have mine.
Mine. I'll take that. This deck's got a lot of pretty sweet moving pieces in it. I like it a lot. It's got a good aggressive nut draw too, which you love. Howdy 50. Burn down the house is probably one of their better hits here, and even that we have a good recovery from. If this Tibalt gets to plus here, naturally.
I leave chaos in my wake.
We have not hit mono green during this set yet. Well, we're no longer clueless. Three down to 5 here. No, I guess I can kill this, right? Yeah, let's kill this. Yeah, I think we are. Because they're not anywhere near dead right now. And they're still dead on board this way. Leave a green up in case we draw 1-drop. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to hit with Stormseeker too. That's true. I give the haste to Stormseeker and hit for an extra 2 here. 10 versus 12 is about the same though, right? Yeah, they could play a ground creature and Angel Fire it as a concern. We sack this. That'll do, pig. That'll do. I like me some big dragons, chat. Solid stuff. Prime subs unfortunately do not auto renew. Gotta drop in every month and tap the button. Appreciate the folks that do that. Especially the folks who are watching this on YouTube in the future. You can drop off your Prime subs even when I'm not live. My live schedule doesn't line up with yours. There's a number of folks that do that. See the sub thing pop off while I'm working on other stuff in the evenings. We don't really need the ramp, and the life from this might be nice, so I think I'm just gonna go Innkeeper into Magda here. Yes, they have kind of tucked away the Prime sub option. It makes me wonder if they're thinking about what they're thinking about doing with it long term. The cynic in me wonders if it's in danger. I feel like they would never get rid of Prime subs because the Prime sub is the big thing that like keeps me on this platform over other platforms, but you know, we'll see. Capitalism gonna capitalism sometimes. Thanks for the brand new Prime, Madhawk. Appreciate the Bezo bucks. What percent is Prime subs over normal tier 1s? Prime subs represent anywhere from 40 to 60% of my Twitch sub income in any given month. It fluctuates a lot month to month. There's a lot of variation in my income, but 40 to 60% consistently. Thanks, Apollo. And for anybody else out there, if you have that Amazon Prime, even if you don't drop it off here, make sure you give it to someone on Twitch. Think of it as taking a couple of bucks from Jeff Bezos and giving it to someone who's not Jeff Bezos. The United States government refuses to tax him, but we can at least take a few bucks out the door with us. I genuinely don't think, like Archivist, any other streaming platform will ever pull people away from Twitch without exclusive paid contracts unless they have something like Prime. Like, maybe if Google partnered with Netflix and said, like, every Netflix viewer gets a free sub or something like that, or even, you know, every YouTube Red member gets a free sub. Something like that could maybe pull people. But outside of doing something like that, the reason why you don't see other people that are serious about stream on other platforms without a contract from them is because Twitch Prime is just so much extra dollars. I doubt I'm alone in 40 to 60% of my subs being Prime subs. Is YouTube Red still a thing? It's been rebranded to YouTube Premium, but I enjoy calling it YouTube Red because whoever approved that name should have been fired. That one shouldn't have made it out of the approval process. Poaching a few big streamers could really hurt Twitch. Nah, not really. If you at home don't know why YouTube Red is a terrible name for them to have named their product, you good, pure, innocent soul, you just keep doing what you do in your own space. I'm not going to ruin you, okay? Alright, so, dragons. I think we want... Lolth's actually probably okay here because she blocks fine. I think we're supposed to cut Valki because it's not great against counterspells. The Tybalt side. We cut Innkeeper. And then I think we're just on the discard spells plan here. I think we leave a couple of grasps in. I'm trimming the mana creature because I want just a higher action density in my deck. I think my opponent's deck is too interactive in order for me to like run them down with my linear plan. So I'd rather just have higher average card quality here rather than trying to be linear. Yeah, both for people that don't follow like streaming industry news, both Mixer, which is now defunct and canceled by Microsoft, and YouTube, which still exists, obviously, YouTube Gaming, have paid large streamers from Twitch to come to their platforms, and Twitch is still just fine. Like, it ain't going anywhere. It's the biggest. I personally have actually turned down a paid contract from another platform because what they offered wasn't worth what I would be losing effectively, I felt as a producer. No, streaming's my full-time job, little Kenzie. I just take the epiphany before they can hide it, right? I've been doing content as a full-time job for I've been streaming for 7 years. I'm doing content as a full-time job for this is my 4th year. Nah, I'm not big on RTS games. I might watch I've watched Day 9 play a little bit of that and it looks sweet, but that's just not really the type of game that I personally like to play. Alright, divide me, daddy. No division. Deal. I have been doing content full-time for almost 4 years. Thanks for being around through all of it, big kitty. Think we go blank here. We're a little sad if we get Jawari disruptioned, but... Oh man, we're gonna get disruptioned, aren't we? Boo. You didn't just immediately resub, Bob. And you've been here for 50 months. Alright, so our current idiots are dead. We can replace them with further idiots from hand. Opponent's still at a relatively high life total here. Ooh, Magda's nice. Very nice. Very nice. Scry 3 is a lot of Scry, chat. Yeah, it really makes me wonder, Magus. This deck, did the Future League not know that this deck was going to exist? Or did they know it existed and they just were like, this is the type of play patterns we want our format to have? It's like if one of those two things is true, right? They either missed it or they knew it was there and they're like, yes, this is fine. I do want to post a Family Unite video at some point. Should make a point to do that the next time we do some 4v4 quick matches. So I'm gonna sack this to this. It lets us get a counter on here, makes it bigger. Which is worse, missing it or saying it is fine? I don't know. I don't know. Please concede. That's effectively what I asked for. This deck actually seems pretty reasonable, huh? We haven't hit green aggro yet, but we are smashing these blue decks. Thanks for the 2.5 years, Wigan. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning. Let's get like one more good match in with this. If we get varianced out of this next one, we'll do one more, but if this next one's good, we'll probably call it a day on Magic after this. Yeah, Bob, I think you've been playing Magic a long time. The Felidar Guardian combo in Standard, I think, might be the most heinous thing Magic playtesting has ever missed. I'm usually pretty forgiving because game design is complicated and there's a lot of variables, but a card like Felidar Guardian in their design file should have set off a million bells and whistles for them to check every single other card it was going to be standard legal with for combos, because of how many combos like that have existed historically in Magic. Yeah, it's the type of miss that a computer checking card text would have picked up instantly. You could programmatically look for that. So Gengar, I'm actually going to disagree with you on your second one. So, and this is a lot of people don't understand game design, and comments like that really show it. So, Felidar Guardian is a really thing that shouldn't be missed because of infinite loops being picked up as something they should just always be looking for with card designs like that. Oko, on the other hand, Oko is actually an incredibly interesting and good design, in my opinion. The numbers are just wrong on it. If you look at Oko as a card, you can leave all the card text the same and just change the numbers on the pluses and minuses on its abilities, and it becomes a reasonable, balanced, interesting card. Oko was almost assuredly a card that got changed late into design, and they missed the power level on it, and sometimes power level things get missed. The idea and core design of what Oko is doing is phenomenal, and I'm actually pretty forgiving of them missing on power level things like that when they're designing new cards. Yeah, Skull Clamp is a good example of a late design file change, right? It's a less interesting design than Oko, but Skull Clamp is a funny story. Skull Clamp was originally supposed to give +1/+1, and they decided that that was too good. So to give the card a drawback, they made it +1/-1 and made the card fucking insane. Just very, very, very silly. What's my... You want a blistering hot magic take. Here's a blistering hot magic balance take. I think there's a good chance 4-color Omnath is fine in worlds without Uro. The fundamental problem with Omnath inside of almost every format it was banned in was Uro. And if you want to point to Modern right now and say, Jeff, Uro is really good in Modern right now, or Omnath's really good in Modern right now, and Uro isn't legal there, well, fetch lands are the problem in Modern. Fetch lands are always the problem in Modern and Legacy in every format they're legal in. I actually think Omnath is a sweet, reasonable design that catches flack for other shitty designs around it. Yeah, what would Omnath do in this current standard format, right? Yeah, I think Omnath Fabled Passage is... Fabled Passage is a design I don't know that I like. I should have given the +1 attack to the Chariot. Yes, you are correct. I +1 the wrong thing. I missed a point of damage. To exile their Deluge here. Now I'm going to throw away a 2/2 to push 5 points of damage here. Are fetch lands just bad because they make mana too smooth? Yeah. So fetch lands, if you're not familiar with them, fetch lands can fetch shock lands. So every fetch land is effectively a 5-color land, which enables you to just do... No, they're not tri-lands. They're 5-color lands. They can find any shock land that's in their 2-color pair. So they can find you all 5 colors. And then in paper, there's also a shuffling aspect. But like, shuffling aspect aside in just digital Magic, I still don't think fetch lands are good designs that are interesting. You see this card, chat? You see this card right here? This card is what Wizards of the Coast wanted to design when they designed fetch lands. They envisioned fetch lands getting one of 2 basic lands, and double-sided cards didn't exist when they printed fetch lands. This is a fixed fetch land, and this design is great. I love the pathways. They're probably the best dual land cycle ever created, in my opinion. We're just supposed to do this again. Yeah, definitely Chimos. They probably wouldn't be playable if we're being honest. We're just dropping this in tapped. And we are, again, just beating up a blue deck here with this. This deck's been really impressive into these blue decks. We've not hit mono green. All right, and again, gonna board like we board in the last one. I'm cutting Innkeepers because they're just a low individual power level card. I'm cutting Valkis because they're susceptible to counter spells, and I'm bringing in a giant pile of discard spells. Cutting Sentinel for a similar reason to cutting this. Just want higher average card quality in my deck in these post-board games. I want more cards that are individually strong. No, basic lands have always been a thing. Yeah, Rampant Growth's an old card. Oh, big oof, chat. Someone was a person that previously had been scummy in Magic the Gathering potentially cheated on camera in a big tournament for Flesh and Blood. And the Flesh and Blood made an official statement about calling out cheaters on camera. Because if you call out people that are potentially cheating on camera, future players won't want to play on camera. It's not a great take, Flesh and Blood. Please try again. You can do better. Anoma, thank you for the 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Well, so there is the asterisk of... just because you make a game rule error doesn't mean you're cheating, but you should also consider someone's history when considering their intent. And when someone has a history from other games of being scummy, they don't deserve the benefit of the doubt when they make a mistake on camera. That's how these things work. You can't know that their intention was to cheat, but people that have been shitty in the past don't get the benefit of the doubt. Don't be shitty. We just murder the egg here. Inscription of Ruin actually seems really good in this matchup, huh? It's a mind rot that also kills their threat. I can honestly see more of this card being good in the sideboard. Who was the player? I was the dude that stole Fetchland promos at a Grand Prix. I'm blanking on his name. He was banned for Magic for a couple of years for it. They missed a land drop, so I'm gonna assume they don't have Jawari Disruption. Folks, yeah, that's it. Matthew Folks. They moved on to Runeterra and now Flesh and Blood. Is Flesh and Blood fun? Alright, I have no personal opinion about the quality of gameplay that Flesh and Blood contains. The thing that I needed to know that keeps me from playing Flesh and Blood, and this is something you should know as a consumer, there are mechanically unique cards in Flesh and Blood that only appear one copy per 40 booster boxes. Not per 40 packs, per 40 booster boxes. And I would wager that a significant part of Flesh and Blood's success and why Channel Fireball and Star City Games and these other vendors have been pushing it and selling it is because they're literally just making lottery tickets. The secondary market has big FOMO and has really expensive chase cards for a game that's only a couple of years old. It feels like a grift from the outside. Dr. Jones, thanks for the third of a year. Fear of missing out. It's 1 per 960 packs. Okay, yeah. And the game might be good. I know a lot of really good game players that like the game a lot and like the gameplay mechanics, but there's so many good games out there that I just can't get into a new one that's doing that. It's not for me. I won't fault anybody for enjoying it. If you like it, I won't yuck your yum, but like that's something everybody should know going in. Yeah, it doesn't feel like their goal is to make a game. It feels like their goal is to make a collectible, which is fine. That can be a fine goal to have. All right, if they don't have a counterspell, this Shatterskull Smashing is an ace's draw. My body is ready to get negated. They miss land drops, so we know they have 3 spells in hand right now, and they're about to get a treasure token, which means they're going to be able to cast a Saw coming. Come on, sometimes lucky. Sometimes lucky. They also haven't killed my Goldspan Dragon, so like they don't have removal and they don't have lands, and they finally played this threat, so like... Oh, are we gonna get double Burning Hands? This is fine. This is fine. If their solution here is double Burning Hands, I'm good with that. That's a fine exchange. We're both at basically nothing. We're at top decks and I have more life. So I assume another burn spell is coming here, right? Wait, what? Friendo. Yeah, maybe they misclicked. Okay, let's hit some bombs. This game here, where we're a little bit flooded, is a good example of why I talked about boarding out my lower quality cards and bringing in higher quality ones. In fact, there could be an argument that post-board, I don't want any Sentinels in my deck, and maybe this should be copies of Tybalt. Yeah, Magda would be a good draw. Magda turns into a dragon because of all of our treasures. Speaking of dragons. Disdainful stroke. Come on, Predator. Resolve! Resolve! Please resolve. So, I'm not going to sack the Sentinel to exile the Deluge, chat. Because if they flash back Deluge next turn, they're just dead on board, right? Goldspan and Magda are all lethal draws here. That's not a terrible one either. That's a big boy, chat. Who's a big Hydra? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Do you want Agdam's Awakening? I don't think so. I think some basics are good. Yeah, they're dead. Creature lands. I love to attack with creature lands. Doot, doot, doot. The world where you sideboard into crack with power? Nah, I'd rather just play good cards. I think just like having Tybalt in my deck post board there is probably better. I was actually really impressed with this deck. The double dragon top end felt really good in the other creature matchups of going over the top. Predator being a little bit of graveyard hate was fantastic. The Sentinel Magda kind of nut draw of making a ton of mana. We had turn 3. If you missed it, there was a game where we went turn 1 Sentinel, turn 2 Magda, turn 3 Goldspan, attack with Goldspan, also cast Esika's Chariot on turn 3. And it was just kind of nutty. And then the black cards here, while obviously giving us a little bit of stuff in the main deck, just give us so many good cards here in the sideboard for so many different matchups. So if you're looking for, you know, a deck that can like have good powerful draws game 1 and then board into decent interaction game 2, this felt like a great choice. I think I definitely recommend this one. Lolth never showed up, but I think having an extra 5-drop here is fine. I think this could be Renin 7 too, if you wanted. Actually, Lolth's probably better than Renin 7 in this deck. I think having more 5-drops to like turn 3 off of Sentinel into Magda is good. Like the games where you have this into this, you just want to try and maximize your chance. I did see that, Bob, January 4th for the OSHA requirement. Looking forward to seeing how that plays out. All right, at any rate, I am done with Magic for today. Remember, if you're looking for more specifically Magic content from me, the Daily Deck Digest posts a 30-minute highlight 7 days a week of the best decks that we've played on stream, along with a deck tech and my thoughts on those decks. If you're interested in just hanging out for more Hoaglandia, though, we are going to be finishing up Mass Effect 1 this afternoon. We're close to the end, probably about an hour left, and then we're going to be starting Mass Effect 2.